Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back, and it's time for reviews. We'll start this off with ISouli. His question was, check, let me, oh yeah, sorry, I was reading I wanted to read that. Please tell me what I have to work on to be able to kill Giants B7. Already got the mons you said were important for Giants B10, but I don't know if they beat B7. Well, B7 is the dark, yeah, that's the dark giants. So come on, stop being slow. Mobazine is slow, and I know exactly why, because I'm uploading a video. But let's do with it. I'm gonna tell you what you should use for B7. B7 has a lot of dots, continuous damage dots, so it could be useful to get either rid of them or to make sure that you do not get them. A way to do that is by taking your Chloe with you, because Chloe has the fanatic. Yeah, sorry guys, it's a bit laggy, but I don't want to start over because I don't really need to show anything. I would bring Chloe for the base reason that she has fanatic that grants you immunity, but also invulnerability. So that will help you a lot if you buff that on the giants, but also like this fanatic will help you first to get through all the stages because you cannot get many buffs on you, and secondly on the giant you can avoid one big hit if you time this correctly. So I would take her. Then you still need your Shannon and your Bernard. Why? Because Shannon and Bernard both, Shannon gives the glancing hit and he gives the buffs. Also the slow is pretty useful, and Bernard gives the defense break and the attack break and the speed. So I still suggest you take those two into your team. And then you could maybe use Megan for the time being, because your Bernard is not up and running yet. So then you could use Megan instead. Well, not really instead. No, you need Bernard because well, like an alternative to the team would be Chloe, Megan, Clara, because Clara has the, if I'm correct, the second skill has a attack debuff. Yeah. If it shows to you, yeah, there we go. That's an option. Well, to be honest, if I were you, I would actually just go for the team that is for B10 and work on that till you beat B7 as well. Why do I say that? Because if you go with an alternative team, you actually need to have their accuracy up pretty high. But an alternative team you could definitely make. That would be like Clara as leader, Chloe, Cases, Megan, and Amon. That's probably gonna be an alternative team, but that's not better than the team for Giants B10. It's just an alternative to it. But you could run that right now if you want, because those units are already pretty strong, except for Clara. Then she's not that strong yet, or not even max level. And you need to have high accuracy on your Clara. And since you only have, come on, loaded 4%. You'll see it, it's 4%. She's not gonna be reliable enough. So I basically would say just work on your team that you assembled already. Units work on their runes, get their stats correctly, and obviously at B7 you need lower specs than at B9 or B10. I mean, the only dungeon these guys cannot take on from giants is B9 because that's all fire, but the rest they should do pretty damn well. And Chloe is definitely a useful unit for B7 because she can get rid of those, well, not get rid of those, but prevent those continuous damage dots. So I hope that helped you, man. It's a bit short for you, but I think that's the only thing I wanted to say to you. If you want to know anything about runes, check out my video from Giants B10. You can search up on my channel. It's not that hard to find. And yeah, I'll be back with another review. So okay, I'm back. I'm at Kaisersoze81. His question was, you want to build a solid team for Giants B10 manual at first and then auto it. He also said like he was thinking to evolve his Amon, but because Amon is not the greatest for Giants B10, he might not do that. And he says, I don't have an Orochi, I do have a Hawa, but he's not awakened yet. But let's just see what you have. You have a Cases, you got Bernard, you got your Shannon, and you got your Wind Jetty. I know you got that. So basically get him to 5 stars and rune him up, skill him up. If you haven't already skilled him up, no. Not enough at least. Try to get every Yeti to put him into, like you got a Yeti here, so you can use that. You might even have more Yetis, but just get this Yeti to 5 stars, rune him up, and he should be good. What you want to rune him with is high HP and some decent defense. So then we got all the necessary units, so that's the Wind Jetty, the Pixie, Bernard, and Cases. We got all the main units. Then we just need a DPS unit. I wouldn't suggest using Wa for the fact that she is a fire unit, and you will have. It's not like she's bad or anything, and she can definitely be a DPS, but she won't have the resistance buff. So what I would do is actually just get a Wind Viking. Yes, I said it, a Wind Viking. I'm just checking if you have one by accident, so I can show him. No, you don't. Okay, well the Wind Viking is a really good unit for this. I'll link you a video of a guildmate of mine that did it that way. I gave him the same advice. It's probably one of the better replacements for Giants and actually a lot of other dungeons. Also the Wind Lizardman could be a replacement, but I know the Wind Viking will be definitely good. Yes, you could use your Rakshasa and maybe something else. Maybe your Wind Rakshasa is good enough. I think you don't need the Viking. Never mind, you got a Wind Rakshasa. I thought you only had the fire one. Then I would just suggest you to get this guy. I mean, his passive is a bit. I mean, the passive is pretty good actually. Rune her up with high accuracy and decent amount of health and speed. So I would go for swift focus and then make this an accuracy percent. I would actually go for HP percent on this rune and a speed rune on this slot. Sorry, I was thinking, I was a bit of brain freeze there. And then she should be good to go. That's gonna be your team. It's also gonna be able to auto it eventually. So Case Leader Bernard, Pixie, the Wind Rakshasa, and the Wind Jetty. Oh, and the Wind Jetty. I'm 100% sure this is gonna be the best you could do for Giants B10 right now. And this unit will, I thought you only had the fire one, but because you have the wind one, this is a better unit than the Wind Viking. But the Wind Viking is something everyone can get, so if they don't have the luxury of having that cool 4-star unit that is good for Giants, then they can go with that, right? Hawa is possible to use, but her resistance needs to be really high. And to be honest, I think the Wind Rakshasa is actually just as good for the dungeons because you have a passive get an extra turn with a 50% chance when your turn is over, that's just good. That's just a violent passive. Like later on in the game, if you have the luxury of putting violent runes on her for PvE, get her violent runes with the correct stats and still high speed, then she will just get a lot of turns in. That would be really good. I saw you have this guy, Wxchiiiin. I think he's amazing, but for dungeon, giant dungeon, to start off, I wouldn't use him for the giants right now. I mean, I think he's very useful, and I think you could use him. But the thing is that he is not gonna he's not gonna give you the damage you need. And maybe later on you can switch it a bit up, then he's gonna be amazing. But he will be amazing no matter what, because Burning Desert plus Magic Flute is just amazing. I hope I helped you with that. If you work on those units, I'm 100% sure you will be able to do Giants P10 manually and later on auto mode. Pretty sure. And when I say pretty sure, I mean 100% sure. So this was your review. Let's go to the next. Yo guys, I'm back at Gary's place, and Gary's question was, what monsters should I focus on for arena and dungeons? And I'm fusing for the Phoenix, what runes suit her best. So let's start off with the Phoenix for a moment. What you want to use for her is Rage Blade, and you want the 2 slot to be attack percent, the 4 slot to be critical damage, so crit damage percent, and you want the 6 slot to be attack percent. And try to get, like, on your substats, try to get 50% in total, 50% crit. So that's basically the best setup you could use for your Phoenix to get him high damage. So Rage Blade with critical damage on the 4 slot. So now for what units you should focus on. Well, you're gonna get your Phoenix at some point, right? I'm not sure how far you are, but look, it looks like you're getting there. So yeah, so let's just see what units you should focus on. Oh, definitely focus on your Sylph, Wind Sylph. I would also advise you to use your Water Sylph. Both are really good. Then a good unit to focus on is your Megan. You kind of need to have a buffer. This unit is actually pretty good, so don't get rid of her. Keep her. She's not the best light unit, but she's definitely super good because her skill set is pretty unique. What's happening? Oh, there we go. First skill is weakening defense, which is good, always good. And her third skill, I mean. Come on. Mobazine is slow again. What the fuck? Increased attack speed, so that's pretty good. For treated, and decrease the chance of receiving a critical hit, so that's pretty good buff. You get faster and you will get no crits, or barely. And his second skill is just damage, if I'm correct. So it's pretty good, a pretty good unit. So keep her. Just be right back, because again, Mobazine is really fucking me up. So just a second. Okay, let's keep going. So definitely keep her, but I wouldn't focus on her right now. What I would focus on is your Light Bearman. Get him awakened and try to get his crit rate as high as possible and his HP as high as possible. Also would focus on maybe your Shannon, but actually let me see just for a second. Let's go over this, right? Both your Sylphs, or well, both your Sylph, but it's actually your Sylph and your Sylphid. Focus on those two, together with Megan. Get her speed up as high as possible. Rune her up with Swift Speed. Sorry, Swift Energy or Swift Focus. The 2 slots should be a speed rune, 4 slots should be an HP percent rune, and 6 slots should be an accuracy rune. Also focus on your light bearman. Give him whatever you need to get him 100% crit rate and HP percent. And actually I would start with those units, and after that you could go on and level some other monsters up. Other monsters that are good or decent. Your Fire Phantom Thief is a decent unit, and your Light Harpy is pretty decent. Also your Wind Pixie might be useful with Shannon at some point. And Lulu is also a decent support, so I would suggest those units. And obviously you're gonna focus on your Water Phoenix when you have him. I think then you have some good monsters and a good setup, and after that you should just see what you can do from there. So Yolanda with Fatal Blade, that's actually fine for the beginning, because in the beginning you won't have high enough, or you won't have all the kind of runes. I kind of saw you don't have high enough crit. The crit damage is pretty nice, but your crit needs to be higher in order to make it useful. So I would just make this an attack percent rune. Obviously you do have get some crit rate from the first skill, so you could do it, but I just would have gone with, well, not bad, it's just that I would have gone with attack percent to make it a bit more consistent. Then we got the Water Sylph. I think you rune him with full energy. Well, for now that's fine. I would actually make him get some accuracy. So what I would do is switch out one energy set for focus and get an accuracy rune on this slot, because then her skills will be more useful. She will do some dots, but also put somebody's skill cooldown on 0. That's really good. Maybe not for PvE, but for PvP it is. So we get the Fire Phantom Thief. He's just basically all attack. Rage Blade is the best setup, but you did set him up correctly, so leave the energy on. Neil is also a unit you could later on focus on. She's pretty good. I don't use her that often, but she's pretty good. And when it comes to the Harpy, it's an attack unit, so I would rune her as an attack unit at high speed and decent attack. That's what I would do with her. So yeah, that's it, man. Nothing more to add. So this is your review. And I'll be back with the next review. Okay, we're back at Wxchiiiin. He told me that his name would be pronounced like Wxchiiiin. So I'm gonna call you like that. His question was, would you mind helping me on which summons I would focus so I can go further on giants, dragons, or better arena rank? So he just wants to know what he should focus on. So let's just check what he has, and then see what he could do. I'm just checking the whole list first. It's in like this guy Walter and the Griffin. Those units are pretty interesting to keep. What else do we have? A Shannon. That's all. That's something you want to keep. Cases. Okay, you only need your Wind Jetty, and then you have your full Giants B10 team ready to get runed up and leveled up. So, because that consists of Acasis, Shannon, Bernard, the Wind Jetty, and you could use Walter for replacement for Orochi, for example. You might have even a better unit, but let me check that. No, I think Walter will be the better unit here. So that would be your Giants B10 team. I would suggest you to focus on it because that's actually a good team. Also to you, I'll post a video from one of my guildmates that I said Walter was a good guy for Giants B10. and you can see him finishing it with the water. Pretty cool. Just rune him up that he has 100% accuracy and high health and some decent amount of defense. So what units should you focus on besides those, like besides your Giants B10 team? Definitely a War and definitely your Barrett are good units to focus on. Also your Arnold is a pretty good offensive unit to focus on. And I think you should keep your Sieg, because that's a pretty good unit later on as well, because it's a heavy attack and it has buffs. Chloe is one of the units you have to focus on. I see you have a good amount of speed already, so really good job. You really know what you're doing. I won't focus on the Joker yet, because you have so good fire units already. You got your Barrett, you got your War, you got your Arnold. All real good fire units, and Chloe. So I wouldn't focus on that. So I would leave the Pirate out of the picture for now. Just keep him, but just leave him where he is. Megan is definitely a unit you could use later on, but for now I would just use Sieg. And I would kind of stick with Sieg for now. Because I could see your offense being Chloe, Sieg, Beretta, and maybe Arnold or Wa, depending on the opponent setup. So let's go over this again. Which unit should you focus on? I would leave my Lulu like she is. She's already fine. I might rune her for swift energy, and then make rune slot 6 and 4 HP percent. Then I would also leave Sieg for what he is right now, but I would rune him up with swift swift blade, and then go attack percent. No, yeah, attack percent, crit damage. That's what I would do. This is a bit late game runes for him, so I would leave him for now, but I would definitely make him swift instead of fatal. But for now actually I would leave him, because he's actually not bad how he is right now. Rogue, not should leave him. Your Barrett, definitely a unit you want to focus on. Eventually try to switch this fatal set to despair and the blade set to focus, and then maybe even get an accuracy percent rune on slot 6. A while. Swift focus, you already have the correct runes there, so to see. So really nice there, 100% accuracy, really good. Arnold, all energy, you're searching for the runes. So you're doing great. So we focus on Beretta, Owa, Arnold, Chloe, and the wind team for B10. And I would say Konamiya is definitely a unit you want to keep. And you could use Ellen as one of your monsters. You have to get her accuracy to a high amount of percent if you want to use her, but then she can be very good use, because her arrows will decrease the attack gauge of the enemies, and that's pretty good. Also, the bounty on the water could be a good unit if you want to use him later on, because when he's awakened he has 110 speed, I think, 109, and then he could be one of your speed leaders. But since you already have to go for Bernard, I would leave him alone. So once again, focus on Beretta, Awa, and Arnold, and Chloe, and the wind team for Giants. I know it's all fire based, we already have a decent wind unit, and you get a good support of water, so it's not that bad to have a lot of fire units. Yeah, I hope that helps you, man. Also focus on the wind team. So the Pixie is one of those guys, and Bernard is one of those. Get the wind Yeti, and you're ready to rock. also the cases, and Walter. Walter is the Wind Viking. You had him, if I'm correct. Yeah. So those units you should focus on as well. Maybe even go for those first and then go for the others. So because they're really good in PvE overall, that setup. So yeah, check the description for the link. This was the review, and this is also going to be the last review. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys got something useful out of it. Let me know if you want to know anything else, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.